Hey guys, it's your boy LOGinHDi and welcome back to another video. And today we're here looking at the behind the scenes of the animation of our recent music video, Fun Day. Hey, it's out now, go check it out and go listen to the song on Spotify, go check it out. But we're here with Neil, the animator, and we're looking at his screen right here at the behind the scenes of the music video. This is what it looks like right here. But today, yes, we're going to be walking through kind of the process of how we made the video and just like a bit of a look on behind the scenes of this stuff. So the original idea actually started with this video right here, the SpongeBob walk. And I remember watching this episode back when I was a kid, and I remember thinking it was like the weirdest episode ever, because I think it was like a full episode of just this like walking animation with like a bit of music, and it was so weird, but I remember it, and I thought it was like a really cool idea for a music video with just like this loop right here with like different weird stuff happening and kind of like walking around this like world. You can kind of see like it's round and stuff just kind of like loops around. I thought that was a cool idea, and that was the original idea for the video, but it completely changed from then into something much cooler and much more. So back here in the animation screen, we're looking at Neil's screen, and this is kind of how the world looks right here. We've got our character, we've got some houses, we've got some trees, we've got a car right there, and yeah, so this is zoomed out. This is how it actually looks. So it's like this big circle of like what I walk around, and oh, look at that, oh, round earth confirmed. But yeah, that's kind of like the loop that happens. And Neil, do you want to tell us a bit about the process on how you kind of made this?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so pretty much this is where we animate inside. It's called Maya, or this is what I use for animation. And as you can see, it doesn't look anything like the actual music video. It's because when we animate, everything looks like poop. But once we add in all the lighting and stuff is when it all comes together, and that's what you saw in that music video. But pretty much what we do is we play with all these super fun controls, and we make them move. Here we go, hold on. For some reason, okay, here we go. Well, that's not good. That's not supposed to happen.
Oh, no, there's a broken, no.
It might be.
Oh, we've broken it.
What? Good thing we finished the music video before it broke.
Yeah, lucky it's me, we finished it.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we fixed it, yeah.
Yes, so, okay. Woo!
So also, you actually made the whole rig yourself, eh? Because I kind of wanted a customized model with a bit different from Roblox, and this is what you created.
Yeah, this was actually mainly my buddy whipped this together. His name's Jonas, and the guy's phenomenal. He pretty much can do like rigging, lighting. He can do the whole works, except sadly animation. He's really bad with animation as far as I know. But yeah, he's really good at all this kind of stuff, so he could hook that up absolutely.
So yeah. Just a bit about the world. How did you actually make it? Is it like, did you have to like place each object by itself within the big like circle world? Yeah,
so what we did is we started this as like pretty much just a straight road, and we added all this stuff, kind of like duplicated it at random points all along the whole thing. And once we did that, we grouped it all together. And there's these things called deformers, which allow us to pretty much drop like a line across the whole object. And then we can like bend that deformer, which will actually bend the whole object, which is grouped. So it pretty much was completely straight, and then we just bent the whole thing once we grouped it all together and duplicated and moved all the pieces around like the houses.
Oh, so like the houses are kind of bent around that deformer as well, and like the trees.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, whoa, that's pretty cool. So, could you tell us a bit more about the walking animation within the character?
Yeah, so what we actually did is we ended up rotating the world as opposed to the character. As you can see, the world's moving, and then the character is staying completely still. Oh gosh, okay. So, pretty much what we do is we create a cycle, which allows us to keep him with the exact same motion throughout the whole thing. So you'll see like, it's going along, the world's moving, and then the character is actually just staying in place. And what we do for that is we either can like counter animate this, so it's, in this case we just animated it going the other way, so he's moving forward, but he's actually not, because we're fooling you guys. And then aside from that, we pretty much would go into like any of these controls. We'd have to add like keys to them, like for the feet, for instance. I have it like go like that. So every red little mark here is a key, and that means that I've added a different value there. And like it's pretty much a lot of manual work, and then we also go into like the graph editor to smooth things out even further. This thing looks horrifying, but it's pretty handy, guys. If you want to be an animator, use your graph editors, people. And aside from that, yeah, so adding the expressions, we didn't cycle that. All of those are just done by hand. Pretty much all of the animations done by hand. There wasn't any like duplicating poses or whatever, so yeah.
So also, I remember when we were working through this, that grey tree in the background there, that caused quite a lot of problems. I remember there was like some rendered scenes where it like was like frozen in place, like it wouldn't rotate with the world.
Yeah.
So we had like a couple problems with that, but yeah, it seems like it is a pretty simple scene overall.
Yeah, it really is. It pretty much, to be completely honest, our organization probably could have been a fair bit better for this. And then on top of that, obviously we had a big PC crash, which set things back a little more, which resulted in my buddy and I pretty much being like, do you have this file? No, you don't? Oh no. And yeah, so this tree in particular, it's pretty much, it comes back to grouping things together, and it was just grouped too weirdly, and it was just being all buggy and annoying, and it just would be like going through every single house. So just a bunch of like random tiny things would come up, and then you know, I'd mess up on timing or something, and then Logan would be like, yo man, fix it, get it done. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that. And then so that's yeah.
So now this scene right here is one of the final scenes in the space, and this is kind of what it looks like here. And this is the battle with the guest. He comes to ruin my fun day, no. And this is our little battle, but I'm doing a backflip in space. But yeah, do you want to sort of walk us through this animation part here?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so pretty much all these things in the background, these are just like lights and stuff, but what we did for this scene is, you'll notice there's some like red lasers shooting out of his eyes. We parented those literally to his eyes, which means we pretty much stuck them to his eyeballs, and
he's got beams coming straight out of his eyes.
That's right.
Part of his body.
Yeah, and this was like absolutely one of the most hype scenes to do. I was like, just wait till Logan sees this. But
yeah, I think it was actually this is my favorite scene of the video. I think just like the way it looks rendered is just like insane.
Oh, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, and it's funny because like I'm really bad with camera work, so I just like kind of winged it on this one, and it ended up turning out pretty nicely. But yeah, so pretty much the idea here is this guy's trying to like get his final shot off on baby Logan, I guess it is, and then he's just gonna like go all offensive because he's got this newfound confidence and everything, and that's kind of what we wanted to show here. And this guy's just overwhelmed by his awesomeness, and that's what happens. So as for the actual animation part of it, we pretty much wanted to go with more of a realistic approach to it. I was thinking about doing kind of like, you know, goofy SpongeBob Slinky arms, but I thought it like what we went with kind of encompassed like more of an epic feel, so that's what we did. And here he is thinking he's got it all under control, and then like the next scene, as you guys know, it'll cut to him getting clocked. So yeah. Oh, and here's one more thing I'll actually throw in. You can see his pose looks horrible. That is just
but the camera doesn't show it, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and this is one thing I don't like to tell my people that I work with, is that behind the scenes, the animation probably looks like crap. And as you can see, that's the case here. But the camera, luckily for us, doesn't really show any of that, so we can get away with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess you don't really need to animate the stuff that's not on the screen. It's just like not needed.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we render the video, how long does it actually take to like render each frame?
It could take anywhere, for your video specifically, it was about 3 to 8 minutes. As you can imagine, that's why we were so devastated when we lost a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's 3 to 8 minutes per frame, and then there's 24 frames a second. So for every second of the video, that's what, like 8 times 20. That's a lot of minutes per second of video. Like I remember you were saying like you had to like just render it while you sleep, and like you'd get like a couple of seconds in like 10 hours or something.
Oh yeah. My computer glows red, so at nighttime I swear thought some demon was in my room.
No, I know. It was
it was a bad time, man.
It was the evil guest coming out to get you while you're sleeping.
Yeah. Well, it's the punishment of being a 3D artist, so it's all right. But yeah, so pretty much it's kind of funny because in the viewport when we're working on this stuff, it looks pretty boring, I suppose. But then when you see the rendering, that's even so much worse because that's literally like if I just click this button here, you'll see like this is a really simple render because there's no textures in there right now, but you can see that it looks a bit different and it looks more clean and all that. But that's pretty much what we had to do for every single one of these frames. And this scene alone, it's a pretty short one, but there's I'm guessing 147 frames. I'm really bad at math. 147 frames, so that would probably take hours upon hour, like 6 hours. I'm guessing. I don't even know. A lot.
For this short little part, it's like pretty crazy to think about. Also, when you're rendering, like something I didn't know about, but you like render quite a few layers for each frame. Like you have like different stuff. Could you talk about that a bit? Yeah,
for sure. Our lighting artist Jonas, he pretty much sets up a lot of different. They're called passes. So what that means is, like, for instance, actually, I could probably show you what that means. This is one of the animations I'm actually working on for my channel right now. Shameless plug. But I'm gonna pop this open, and you'll see that like the shot originally doesn't look like this. It's got the normal lighting going on, but with this volume pass, we have pretty much a lot of that like thickness of the lighting coming in. And that's something we can like take into Premiere or After Effects and add on top of the original render to make it look even more, dicey. You know how it is. And that's pretty much, we do like a bunch of passes like that for yours as well. And that's pretty much all of the options right here. We use a few of them, not all of them. And then that pretty much allows us to bring your animation to life a lot more and kind of make it so that lighting isn't as flat and more appealing.
Yeah, so it's like separate kind of like image layers that you then like overlap, and then so you have like more kind of customization where you can do in editing.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, whoa.
So for instance, we might have rendered your animation out and it might have looked just horrible, but then we brought in those render passes and hello, looking great.
Yeah, I remember like when you'd like show some of the like the stuff here, and then you'd like near the end you show like a fully rendered, and I'm like, what? Just like completely transforms the whole thing, like from this preview into the render.
Yeah, it's funny because anybody I work with, like when I'm getting started, I always send them kind of like updates of stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that just doesn't look good." And I'm like, "No, don't worry. I haven't sent you like the fully rendered version yet." And then I have to start sending them all the beauty passes and everything, which takes a while. And they're like, "Oh, there we go."
So yeah, there we go. That's a bit of the behind the scenes on what happened. I think like the whole process of this video took about, I think was it like 4 months to make, even though the video is kind of like simple-ish. There's quite a few like details that can take quite a lot of time, and the rendering definitely takes a lot of time there. But yeah, hopefully you guys liked the video. If you haven't seen Fun Day yet, go check it out, and also go check out Neil's channel. He does some animations on there, so go check that out. I'll link that in the description, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys.
Take care.